Hi there, this is Amanda Frankel with Our Crafty Playdate, and today I wanted to show you just a feature of this card. This was on my blog, and I will list my blog address here for you, my website. This was on my blog on Thursday. We're focusing with a group of people on one product at a time, and we're all doing the same product so that you can see lots of different ways to use it from different people. This is the Hey Chick stamp set. And it is a super cute little stamp set that is one of the offerings in the most recent Celebration catalog. That goes through the end of March, and you get one item free for every $50 you spend. And on my website where this is featured, it shows you how you can make this card and get that stamp set for free with your $50 order. So anyway, you definitely want to check that out. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you this. Yes. Okay, so this is actually smooth. There is no texture to this, but it does look a whole lot like chicken wire. And that's what I was looking for, and I wanted to figure out how to do that. So I wanted to show you what I did. I did not have a stamp for that, by the way. So I made one. This is my dynamic textured embossing folder. It's the hexagon one. We had one in the fall winter catalog, you may remember, that had kind of a cable knit sweater pattern, but this looks like hexagons, and you can see the shading here that shows that it really has a lot of height to it. It's a great folder. It makes great masculine cards. When you stamp with when you emboss with this, with our basic gray or our smoky slate, it almost looks like stamped metal. So it would be a cute masculine card. But we have that bee that's in the dragonfly kit, and you could do a honeycomb too. Maybe I'll do that next. In any case, I wanted to show you today this. I digress. So anyway, with your embossing folders, I wanted to show you a little trick. The Sizzix and the Stampin' Up! Logo is on the top. This is the top of your folder. If I were to put any piece of paper in here right now, like this, and run it through the embossing folder and open it up, this would be my top, and it would be puffed up. Okay, makes sense? I would see raised little hexagons. If I turned it upside down, okay, and I wanted this to be my front and I embossed it, this part right here would be, the part that would be on here would be raised, just these lines would be raised, okay, not the actual embossing folder. So it's whatever is pushing against it. So this is the raised side. You can't really see it that way. This is the raised hexagon side. This is the raised line side. Okay, so this way it pushes the lines down into the paper and raises up the hexagons. We want the lines to show, right? We want these lines to show, but I don't want it to be raised at all because this card is already going to be very tall. It's got 1 card base, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of paper, and this one is on dimensionals, 6. So it will be too tall to put it through the mail. So what I'm going to do is this side that has the lines, that's the side I'm going to be working with. You want to use black ink. I always go to Memento. This is my favorite black that we carry. I just love it. It's seriously my go-to ink. You want to avoid using this one. Don't use this one. This one is permanent, okay? It's a permanent thing. You can stamp on glass and plastic, and so if I put ink on my folder with this, it's going to be stained. So we're going to use Memento. Okay. So now, to do this, I'm going to take the lid off the Memento, and I am not going to mash. Okay, I'm not going to, you know what I mean by mash. Some of you are mashers. I'm just going to rub. See how my pattern is emerging there? I'm just going to rub. You might get stuff on your fingers here. Don't worry, because you're not using StazOn, this comes off really easily. All right, so I've given it a good rub. You saw I did not tap it at all. I did not push it. I just smeared it. And you can do this with any color, by the way. If you wanted purple chicken wire because you have a very crazy Hey Chick to send it to, I got one of those too. Okay, now I'm going to take my piece of paper. This is just, woo, sorry, knocked the camera. This is just the size of a normal panel. So this is just a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white cardstock. And it's just a scrap, really. I'm just going to show you how I did this. I just lay it on here. Once you get it down, try not to move it, okay? Because when you rub it, when you slide it on there, that ink is just going to smear. But now I'm just going to press with my fingers really lightly like this. Oh, little smear. That's okay. It would be the back. Now, because this is chicken wire, oh, I just smeared it a little. Because this is chicken wire and it doesn't have to be exactly perfect and it's supposed to look kind of country fun, it does not need to be perfect, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. If you get areas that are less printed than others, don't worry. It looks much cooler that way than if it's all perfectly uniform. And so I just set this aside to dry because it's a little shiny. It does stay wet a little bit longer. This is a great ink for embossing because it does stay wet just a little bit longer. But I'm not going to emboss, although that'd be cute too. I am done with this. I would set it aside and then I would just start layering my pieces up to glue them down. And I'm not doing all that today. I just wanted to show you how that worked. But I did want to show you this. My embossing folder looks like this. That's okay. Don't spray it with mist. Don't try to rub it with a paper towel. Just take it to your sink and just run water over it. And this ink is just going to come right off. And you can use your hand a little bit if you need to, but that's it. Don't start rubbing it because you don't want to get ink into the crevices. Okay. So once you've run it under water, most of the ink is going to be gone. Then you can pat it dry with a paper towel. Do be aware that you want to do that as quickly as possible after you're done. I mean, you don't have to run to the restroom the minute you have done your stamping, but you don't want to leave it all night either. And you also want to make sure that before you use your embossing folder again, that you've dried it well. So once you've washed the ink off, then you do want to pat it dry well with a paper towel. And then I would leave it open like this for a while to make sure that all the water's gone. What you don't want to happen is you're making a card and you go to emboss your beautiful masterpiece and you had water on it and now it's got a little welt in it. But this will wash up really super well. I used it for an entire class last night and you saw when we started it was just like that guy. So thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you will try some techniques and I hope that this opens a whole world of options with the embossing folders that you have. These dynamic ones work particularly well because they are so raised. Then you don't get ink in the crevices, but all of them do work this way. So thank you very much for stopping by and I look forward to seeing you soon. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator and you can access my information by going to my website right down here and you can shop there. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.